For a first-hand account of what transpired 10 years ago today in faraway Chibok, we now have with us a parent of one of the abductees, Yahi Bwata. You are welcome to Arise News and welcome to Newsday today.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure this is a very, very painful period because you have to relive this whole nightmare once again, 10 years after. Of course, every year, I'm sure, on the anniversary of the abduction for the last 10 years, you've had to relive this. But this particular remembrance certainly will be driving this home as Nigerians are joining you and the rest of the parents of the Chibok, abducted Chibok girls to mourn for those that are still in captivity. Talk to us. How is the community feeling as we're here remembering 10 years of this very, very dark episode in Nigeria's history?
I thank God to be alive to witness today's 10th anniversary of the abduction of our daughters. Even though many of us as the parents are late because of touching, trauma, high blood pressure. Today marking the 10th anniversary, about 48 of us are late. And 82 are still not seen. So today at Chibok, I know more than 1,000 people there gathered in the school. I'm interacting with them right from yesterday and today. I have to be in Lagos because even when the abduction took place on my present when I was at Chibok in the month of April 14th, in May, because of rumors that the spraying by some people, I had to left Chibok to Lagos to voice out because I have so many people that I know that can help us to voice out. It's a tragedy and it's painful situation. Apart from the abduction and the girls that are still yet in captivity, people are terrorizing, that the Boko Haram are terrorizing the Chibok area till today. Because even on January 1st this year, terrorizing happened at Askira, of which they killed about 10 people. Recently, they kidnapped some girls. But because of the intervention of the local vigilante and our Nigeria securities, they found them back. But these our girls, 82, is too annoying. If they abducted your daughter, you didn't see the grave. If they tell you she's dead, we know she's dead. And we remember that we should put in our mind that this girl is under government custody. Government is supposed to do everything possible to bring them back. Because they have not abducted our daughters in our houses. So we still look up unto God and pray, challenge our government to bring the remaining 82. Thank you.
It's a difficult scenario, no doubt, Mr. Bwata. You're having to relive all of this not so good experience for the past 10 years. But Some of the released girls, when interviewed, said they regretted coming back home after they were released. Do you think they were expressing disappointment at the way the government has handled the situation, or probably the loss of their friends while in captivity as well? Because much has been said towards the handling of rehabilitation of these girls, even those that were managed to have been released, as it were. I'd like your thoughts on that.
How I wish when the first 21 were released by the effort of the government, apart from Amina Ali that run by herself, later 21 were released. Then 82, instead of 83, of which one of them disagreed to come back. 2 days is even matter. We are talking of 10 years. Under conflicted and duress, under criminal coaching and wicked teaching. And we know as human beings, flesh can adopt any condition one finds himself, herself or himself. And why they were about regretting. How I wish when they release them, they're supposed to be good rehabilitation, involve both religions, not only one religion. Okay. Even the recent one that released with their husband Boko Haram, as for me, it's not their husband anyway, because who give them to marriage? Who collect their bride price? So as for me, I'm not calling that one as marriage. The rehabilitation, they're supposed to involve the two religions. Even no matter they have been carried away by the Islamic teaching. Remember, most of the Chibok girls are Christian.
Yes.
And even one of the group I belong to, I'm a chorister, a choir member. I'm one of the New Life for All too. So, and most of those girls, they are members of New Life for All. That's Sabora Dunkowa or KB. So, as for me, they're supposed to involve the two religions to radicalize them, to sanitize them, to bring them to their normal senses. As for me, thank you.
This is actually very, very heavy, I must actually say, because according to the Murtala Muhammad Foundation, they say between 2016 and 2013, if I get this right, 21 Chibok girls who escaped captivity returned with 34 children. And you look at that, put that on one side, and you look at the fact that we've had 3 presidents since the initial abduction 10 years ago. This is the 3rd president that is actually facing this particular tragedy. For the people in Chibok and those affected directly by the happenings in 2014, do they feel let down by the government? And also another question, do you think more could have been done? Or what do you think could have been done to probably help ease a very, very grave situation?
Yes, more supposed to have been done by the government. You
And
know,
what do you think should be, because you have to mention, because it's a very direct question that requires a direct answer. When you say more, what is the more now?
you see, even the security challenges. Or can you come again to with the question?
So there are two questions now.
Yeah.
Do the Chibok community, do they feel let down by the government? And also, what do you think could have been done by the government that was not done or overlooked in the whole of this ordeal?
The government is trying, but you talk of the security challenges. You know, when I was at Gatamoro, for instance, that what happened on 1st January this year, for instance, I will take that one to judge what is on ground. Before you voice out that there's attack happening, before they will react, it will take some hours, or if not the whole day. Okay, remember when the abduction of Chibok girls took place in the night, by that kind, 12 midnight. Before we saw response from the government, it was 2 p.m. That's another day, of which this girl might have even left the country to another country, even foreign countries, even Europe. That's more than 12 hours. So the response is a bit late. Then, for the Chibok girls, even those that are released, where the government are trained, but where there are some lapses, why does the girls leave the school? You know, most of them left the school because some complain that some of little amount that government used to give them suddenly stopped. And remember, as I said, most of the parents are late, and to be taking care of girls' children in school, you know, is somehow different from male child. How to take care of female children at school. So that is why all that challenges might have led the girls to leave the school. Because I know one that left the school and she don't marry. And also that left the school and got married. So governments need to do more. They need to do more for the girls, more especially those orphans. Okay, look for instance, this lady, Grace Dauda, that lost her father just 4 months ago. And she's the first daughter of the family, having 15 siblings. Mm-hmm. So if somebody cannot help that girl, or the government cannot help, she was abducted, she was released, and she lost the father. So those kind of people, they need more caring. Thank you.
All right.
All right, Mr. Bwata. In other scenarios, some ex-militant fighters who were engaged in kidnappings, I think sometime were granted amnesty. And I think to a large extent, they were also made to go through some kind of rehabilitation, sponsored by the state governments, as it were. Not just in Borno, but in some parts of the north as well, where all these kidnappings are rampant. So do you think, and some of them are being made to be helping the military in trying to recover even recent kidnappings, as it were? You know, they know the topography of the area and all that. How would you rate efforts at having people who have engaged in such acts of criminality now going back to help the military recover, abducted school children? Do you think that is the step in the right direction, or there should be more in this regard?
As for me, how can that be believable? Can that happen in Europe? Can that happen in Europe? How many people they killed? If you now ask those military personnel that fought to see the wellness, that is, to see the security condition of this country, to be free of all these challenges of security. And now they are killed. If you ask their wife as widows and their children, what has government done to those orphans and widows of our fallen heroes that killed by the criminals? Now you say they have repented. You are rendering good help to them. You sponsor them. You now, after some few months or few weeks, join them back to the society. As for me, if I lost my dad, or if I see the way my daughter is not yet back, and I see Boko Haram, you freed them to associate with me. How can that be possible? How can that be possible for me to? How can I look them? How can I accommodate them? No. As for me, hadn't been that the way I imagine my own or think my own. There are some of the Boko Haram is not willing. They did not join the Boko Haram willingly. They abducted them. You know, the way they abducted the Chibok girls, we should know and put back to our mind that it's not only Chibok girls have been taken to captivity.
Okay, how do you know? How do you differentiate?
They will know.
From which?
Because there's one of the Chibok girl that made mention that one of the recently released that one of her husband is being killed by Nigeria securities at Cameroon. She now married second husband. Government killed that one again, for which I have to appreciate the effort of our securities. Now the third one that has like a boyfriend and girlfriend between them, the man now suggested to her to go and surrender. That even he, as Boko Haram, was abducted. He was not originally a Boko Haram member. So, such a person, the government has their way to find out from them. So, if such a person can be rehabilitated and bring to the society under good sense of belonging, if government can treat that one, but not somebody that already is criminal. Then you say you correct you take them to correction center and later bring them back to the society. As for me, it's not a welcome idea.
All right. As we try to wrap up this discussion, unaccounted for is still 91.
Yes.
And at the moment in time, 10 years down the line, should we still keep hope for life? And what do you think has become of the fate of those 91? Because there are reports that some of them might have even passed on. Talk to us about this.
Yes, of course. It is not possible that you kept somebody under this very hazard and conflicted area in the bush more than 10 years, and one may not, even naturally, one may lose life. Talk less of insurgents, Boko Haram, with Boko Haram. So, but hopefully, some may be alive. Some might pass away. But we, as Nigerians and father, we don't want to know. It's left for the government to tell us, so and so is no more. She's dead. then so and so are alive. So try and bring them for us. That's my own belief. And this 82 rather, I know many. Because like Aisha Lawanzana, she's my neighbor. And for the way I got information from the father, he told me that sometime that he got information from those released ones that she's still alive. So it's for the government to still make more effort to bring them.
All right, just briefly before we go, hopefully you can do that in 1 minute. I've been thinking about the issue of those who actually escaped from captivity. Were there any serious effort made at trying to retrace the steps of how they were able to escape from captivity and hopefully, make inroad into the enclave of the Boko Haram kidnappers?
Okay, you mean those
that actually
escaped on their own?
Yes, on their own. Were there any other effort, follow-up efforts by the government authorities to find out more about how they escaped and hopefully exploit that situation to try and get the other girls as well?
Like I was talking with one of them. She said it took, even Amina Ali, before she escaped, it took her more than a month from the bush. When she escaped, it took her more than a month to like make her link to a road where she can meet people outside. Then, the government now, some of them cannot, they will go, even when they release them, according to them, they round with them. They go round. So even if you leave them, they couldn't trace the place. They couldn't. It's not possible for them. And they are little children. So it's not possible for them to trace that bush. But it's still, government has camera. They have camera, they have specialists. They have intelligent officers, security officers that can do that job for the country.
Right. Yahi Bwata, I want to say thank you very much for joining us today. He's one of the parents of the abducted Chibok girls. I want to say thank you very much for joining us here on Newsday.